Welcome to a video that can change your mindset and your bank balance forever. This is not just another book summary, this is your blueprint to success, based on the 13 proven principles from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the same strategies used by millionaires, leaders, and visionaries for over 80 years. Don't skip a second. The last chapter might be the one that unlocks your breakthrough. This isn't just a summary. This is a masterclass in mindset, money, and motivation. Stay till the end and watch your thinking and life transform. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Everything starts with a burning desire. Not a passing wish, not a vague dream, but a desire so strong that it consumes your thoughts, your actions, your energy, until what you want becomes your reality. Think back to the moments in your life when you wanted something so badly, you could barely sleep. Maybe it was getting a job, starting a business, proving someone wrong, or simply becoming more than what the world expected of you. That fire inside you, that's what Napoleon Hill is talking about. Desire is not just a hope, it's a decision, a declaration to the universe. This is what I want, and I will not stop until I get it. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill tells the story of Edwin C. Barnes, a man who had one overwhelming desire: to work with the great inventor Thomas Edison. Barnes didn't have money, he didn't have connections, he didn't even know Edison personally. But he had desire. A desire so strong that he took a freight train with barely anything in his pocket and showed up at Edison's door. Not to beg for a job, but to offer his service as a business partner. At first, Edison gave him a simple job. No promises, no shortcuts. But Barnes never lost sight of his goal. Day after day, he worked with determination until finally the opportunity came. And when it did, he seized it. That burning desire turned into reality. He became Edison's business associate and later earned a fortune. So what does this mean for you? Your desire must be so definite, so clear that you can feel it in your bones. It must become your obsession. Because when your mind is fully focused on one goal, something powerful happens. You start attracting the right ideas, people, and opportunities. You start turning invisible thoughts into visible results. Hill says, every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. That's the level of desire we're talking about. No backup plan, no exit strategy, just forward. So ask yourself, what do you desire more than anything? Is it freedom, wealth, purpose? Whatever it is, let it consume you. Write it down. Read it daily. Feel it as if it's already yours. That's where it all begins. Desire is not just the first step. It's the spark that lights the entire fire of success. And remember, people may doubt you, the world may ignore you, but if your desire is unshakable, you become unstoppable. Chapter 2. Faith. Visualizing and believing in the attainment of desire. Desire is where the journey begins, but faith is what carries it forward. You see, it's one thing to want something deeply, but it's another to believe with all your heart that you can actually have it. That unshakable belief, that inner conviction when no one else sees what you see, that's what Napoleon Hill calls faith. Faith is not just religious, it's emotional, it's mental. It's the ability to close your eyes, picture your future, and know it's possible, even when reality tells you otherwise. Hill says, faith is the head chemist of the mind. It mixes your thoughts with emotion and turns them into a spiritual force that influences your actions, your outcomes, your destiny. Think of any person who achieved something extraordinary. They all had faith, when they had no evidence, no applause, no guarantees. Faith is why a college dropout can become a tech billionaire. It's why a poor boy with a stutter can become a world-class speaker. Faith is the invisible bridge that carries your desire across the gap between the dream and the result. But here's the truth. Life will test you. You will hear the word no. You will face failure. People will laugh at your goals, and in those moments, your belief will be your only weapon. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? Hill teaches that faith can be built. It's not something you're born with. You grow it by feeding your mind with positivity, with affirmations, with repetition. Speak your goals out loud. Picture them every morning. Feel the joy of already achieving them. Your mind starts to believe what it hears and sees repeatedly, especially when it comes from you. He tells us, faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Without it, your desire is weak. With it, your desire becomes unstoppable. So ask yourself, when you think of your dream life, do you just wish for it? Or do you believe it's already yours? Because if you can see it, feel it, speak it with certainty, then you are already halfway there. Chapter 3. Autosuggestion, the practice of affirming your goals to influence your subconscious mind. Your mind is always listening, to the world, to others, and most importantly to you. What you repeatedly say, think, and feel, your subconscious mind absorbs it like a sponge. That's where autosuggestion becomes your secret weapon. Napoleon Hill says, autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind with thoughts of a creative nature. In simple words, what you tell yourself becomes your reality. Imagine this. Every morning you wake up and say, I am confident, I am focused, I am becoming successful. At first it may sound like just words, but over time your brain starts to believe it. You begin acting differently. Your body language changes. You start taking action aligned with those beliefs. And suddenly, those affirmations aren't just hopeful phrases, they start becoming true. Now think of the opposite. How many people wake up each day thinking, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, life's too hard? Over time, their subconscious accepts those lies as truth, and sadly, their life follows that belief. Hill teaches us that the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. It just accepts what it hears repeatedly. That means you have the power to reprogram your reality. Start simple. Write your goals on paper, but don't just read them. Feel them. Close your eyes. Say them aloud. Visualize them already achieved. Attach emotion. Emotion is the fuel that drives suggestion deep into your subconscious. Do it when you wake up. Do it before you sleep. Every single day. Why? Because repetition creates belief, and belief creates results. Many people will tell you autosuggestion is silly. They'll say it's just words. But the most successful people in the world know it's never just words. It's how the mind learns. It's how champions are built. It's how mountains are moved without touching them. Because the first mountain is always inside your mind. You don't need the world to believe in you. You just need you. And autosuggestion is the path to that belief. Now, once your desire is clear, once your faith is strong, and once your subconscious begins to believe, it's time to gain the right weapon, knowledge. But not just any knowledge, the kind that changes your direction. Let's talk about that next in Chapter 4. Chapter 4, Specialized Knowledge. Gaining and using targeted knowledge for success. Knowledge is not power. Let that sink in. Because we've all been told the opposite since childhood. But Napoleon Hill makes it clear, only specialized knowledge, when applied with purpose and action, becomes power. Think about it. We live in an age where information is everywhere. You can Google anything, watch thousands of videos, read books, and still stay stuck. Why? Because general knowledge is like a river that flows everywhere but reaches nowhere. What you truly need is direction. Hill explains that specialized knowledge is focused. It's knowledge that serves a specific goal. It's what you gain when you stop trying to learn everything and start learning exactly what your dream demands. Let's say you want to build a business. You don't need to know every business theory in the world, but you do need to know your market, your product, your audience, and how to serve them. That's specialized. That's powerful. He gives an example of Henry Ford. Critics said Ford wasn't an educated man. They laughed at him because he didn't know certain facts. But Ford didn't care. Why? Because he had the knowledge that mattered. How to build cars, how to build systems, and how to surround himself with people who knew the rest. That's what built an empire. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to know what you want and what you need to learn to get there. Then take action. This is a message of hope. You don't need a college degree. You don't need to master every subject. You just need to ask, what knowledge does my goal require? Where can I learn it? Who already has it? Start small. Take courses, read books, watch interviews, reach out to mentors, learn by doing. That's how specialized knowledge is built. Not overnight, but day by day, with purpose. And remember, if you combine specialized knowledge with burning desire, faith, and belief, you become unstoppable. Now there's one more force you must awaken, the one that turns invisible thoughts into something the world can see. It's time for Chapter 5, Imagination. Let's unlock your creative power. Chapter 5, Imagination. Using creative vision to bring desires into reality. Every invention, every dream achieved, every great fortune ever built began in one place, the human imagination. Imagination is not just for artists or storytellers. It's the workshop of your mind where your desires are shaped, tested, and designed before they ever touch the physical world. Napoleon Hill says, "Man can create anything he can imagine." And he means it literally. If you can see it in your mind with clarity and belief, you can begin the journey of making it real. Think of the phone in your hand, the car you drive, the home you live in. Every single one of these was once just an idea, a vague picture in someone's mind. But imagination gave it structure. Imagination gave it energy. And most importantly, imagination gave it life. Now think about your dream. Can you picture it? Not just the surface, but the details. Can you see the kind of life you want to live? The business you want to build? The impact you want to create? That picture, that movie in your mind, is where it all starts. Hill tells us that there are two types of imagination: synthetic and creative. Synthetic is when you rearrange existing ideas, like combining knowledge or experiences you already have. Creative imagination is deeper. It's where intuition, inspiration, and flashes of genius appear. Both are powerful. Both are tools you can use. But here's the truth. Most people stop imagining after childhood. They trade dreams for doubts. They let reality bury their creativity. Don't let that be you. Your imagination is your personal universe. It costs nothing. It has no limits. You can visit your dream life 1,000 times a day in your mind, and every time you do, you get closer to turning it into reality. Here's what to do. Close your eyes each day and see the life you want. Feel it. Walk through it. Speak it out loud. Make it vivid. Make it real. Because the more clearly you can imagine your goal, the more your mind and body will start working together to achieve it, often in ways you can't predict. Imagination is not a luxury, it's a skill, and it's one you must use daily. When fueled by desire, belief, and knowledge, your imagination becomes the blueprint for greatness. But dreaming alone is not enough. Now you must bring structure to your vision. You must act. You must plan. In Chapter 6, we'll explore how to take your dream out of your head and into your hands with organized planning. Let's move forward. Chapter 6, Organized Planning, turning your desire into action through a clear plan. A dream without a plan is just a wish, and wishes don't build empires. Desires without action remain trapped in the mind. That's why Napoleon Hill dedicates an entire chapter to the most practical, powerful step of all: organized planning. This is where everything you've imagined, everything you've believed in, everything you've repeated through faith and auto-suggestion meets the real world. Think about it. You can want success, you can feel it, you can believe in it with all your heart. But unless you translate that desire into specific step-by-step actions, it remains a fantasy. And fantasies don't pay the bills. Hill says you must form a definite plan and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Waiting for the perfect time, the perfect resources, or the perfect knowledge. That's the trap. The truth is, clarity comes through action, not before it. Start by writing down your goal. Not in vague terms, but in clear, measurable steps. What exactly do you want? By when? What will it take? Who can help you? What obstacles do you need to prepare for? These aren't just questions, they're tools for turning your dream into a plan. Let's be honest, your first plan might fail. In fact, it probably will. But that's part of the process. Hill reminds us that failure is not defeat, it's feedback. If plan A doesn't work, you move to plan B. If that fails, go to plan C. Winners don't run out of chances, they create new ones. And here's the truth. You don't have to know the whole path to take the first step. You just need to commit. Plans can be adjusted. Momentum can be built, but you must begin. This chapter is your wake-up call to stop only visualizing and start building. Gather your specialized knowledge, form your mastermind group, write out your next moves. Start with what you have, where you are, and grow from there. Because the world doesn't reward dreamers, it rewards doers. Now that you have your plan in motion, there's one trait you'll need more than ever. The trait that separates those who almost make it from those who truly do. That trait is persistence. And that's exactly where we're headed in Chapter 7. Stay with us. Chapter 7, Decision. The mastery of procrastination and decisiveness. Success doesn't wait for the hesitant. It belongs to the bold. to those who choose, act, and move forward, while others overthink, hesitate, and stall. That's why Napoleon Hill dedicates this chapter to one of the most powerful habits of all achievers: decisiveness. Hill studied hundreds of the most successful people of his time, leaders, inventors, entrepreneurs, and he found one common thread. They made decisions quickly and changed them slowly, if at all. In contrast, those who failed tended to make decisions slowly and change them frequently and without reason. It's not about being reckless, it's about clarity. When you know what you want, when your desire is definite and your plan is clear, you don't waste time in doubt. You move, you adapt, you decide. But here's the enemy: procrastination. That quiet voice that says, "I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll wait until I'm ready." That voice has killed more dreams than failure ever could. Think about it. How many times have you had an idea, a goal, or a desire, and you waited? You waited until the moment passed. You let fear speak louder than purpose. And later, you wondered what could have happened if you had just taken the leap. Decisions shape destiny. Every small choice matters. The decision to wake up early, the decision to learn instead of scroll, the decision to start even when you're scared. Every single one adds up. Hill warns us clearly: indecision is a habit, and it's deadly, but so is decisiveness, and it's powerful. Train yourself to act. Don't let other people's opinions drown your inner voice. The more you hesitate, the more you hand your power to others. But when you decide, when you own your choice, you take control of your future. Start now. Whatever your goal is, make a decision today. A real one. Commit to it. Write it down. Take action on it, even if it's small, because nothing changes until you decide. Now, once you've made that decision, the journey really begins. And staying on that path, especially when things get tough, takes something special: persistence. That's where we're heading in Chapter 8. Let's keep going. Chapter 8, Persistence. The sustained effort necessary to induce faith and achieve success. Success isn't about luck. It's not about talent alone. It's about sticking with it when everything inside you wants to quit. That's the power of persistence. The quiet, relentless force that turns dreams into achievements and goals into reality. Napoleon Hill says that persistence is the essential factor in transforming desire into its financial equivalent. You can have burning desire, strong faith, and even a detailed plan, but without persistence, all of it fades the moment things get hard. And make no mistake, they will get hard. There will be setbacks, delays, moments when nothing seems to work. People will doubt you, doors will close, you'll feel exhausted, frustrated, even foolish. But it's in those exact moments that your persistence is tested. And it's those who keep going, step by painful step, who rise above. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed over 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Most people would have quit after 10 tries, maybe even 100. But Edison didn't see failure, he saw feedback. And because he persisted, he didn't just create a product, he changed the world. Hill makes it clear: persistence is a state of mind, and like any mindset, it can be developed. It's built through daily habits, through discipline, through surrounding yourself with people who push you forward instead of pull you down, through repeating your affirmations, visualizing your success, and reminding yourself why you started. You don't need to see the finish line to keep moving. You just need to take the next step, and the next, and the next. Even if it's small, even if it's slow, forward is forward. Most people quit when results don't come fast. But persistence doesn't care about time, it only cares about consistency. Because even a tiny effort repeated daily becomes unstoppable over time. So when you're tired, push one more time. When you're doubting, believe one more time. When you're losing faith, remember why you began. That one extra step, that's where most people give up, and that's where you rise. Success doesn't go to the strongest or the smartest, it goes to the one who refuses to stop. And if you've made it this far in this video, then you have that spirit inside you. Now imagine what could happen if you not only persisted alone, but connected your mind with others who shared your vision. That's exactly what we explore next in Chapter 9, The Power of the Mastermind. Keep going. You're building greatness. Chapter 9, Power of the Mastermind, the driving force of a collective mind. No one succeeds alone. Even the greatest minds in history, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Einstein, had something in common. They surrounded themselves with other great minds. That's the essence of Napoleon Hill's next principle, the power of the mastermind. A mastermind is not just a group of people. It's a connection of minds, energy, ideas, and purpose. Hill describes it as a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. In simple words, you need a team that believes in your dream as much as you do. Think of it like this. When two batteries are connected, their power is amplified. Now imagine what happens when two or more human minds connect, with passion, purpose, and belief. Ideas are born, confidence grows, momentum builds, problems become smaller because solutions come faster. The mastermind is not about followers or fans. It's about equals. People who challenge you, guide you, and hold you accountable when things get tough. People who don't let you give up when the world turns its back. People who sharpen your thinking like steel sharpens steel. Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men of his time, credited his entire fortune to the power of his mastermind group. He wasn't the smartest man in every room, but he was smart enough to create the room. That's leadership. That's vision. So ask yourself, who is in your circle? Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Success is never just about what you know, it's also about who you align with. If you're alone right now, don't worry, you can start small. Find one person who shares your hunger. Connect with people who are walking the same path. Learn from mentors, join communities, build relationships. Your mastermind doesn't have to be big, it just has to be intentional. When two or more minds unite around a definite purpose with harmony and belief, a third invisible force is created, a force more powerful than either alone. That is the true power of the mastermind. And with it, your journey becomes lighter, your results become faster, and your vision becomes unshakable. Now, what if I told you that one of the most powerful forces you carry, your energy, can be transformed into genius and creativity? That's where we go next. Chapter 10, The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. Let's uncover a hidden superpower. Chapter 10, The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. Transforming sexual energy into creative and productive outlets. This may be the most misunderstood and most powerful principle in the entire book. When Napoleon Hill talks about sex transmutation, he's not talking about suppression. He's talking about transformation, about taking one of the most intense human energies, sexual energy, and redirecting it into something far greater: creativity, focus, passion, and achievement. You see, sexual energy isn't just physical. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's the deepest, most primal form of desire we have. And when that energy is controlled, not wasted, not ignored, but harnessed, it becomes the fuel behind genius. Hill observed that many of the most successful men in history had a strong sexual nature. But what made them extraordinary wasn't the desire itself. It was their ability to channel that desire into their work, their art, their mission. Instead of letting energy leak through distraction, temptation, or meaningless pleasure, they used it to build, to create, to push beyond limits. This isn't about guilt or shame. It's about understanding how powerful you truly are. When your mind is clear, when your purpose is strong, and when your energy is directed, you unlock a version of yourself most people never meet. Think about it, that intense drive you feel, that fire, that urge to chase, conquer, connect. What if you used that exact energy to fuel your business, your art, your goals, your legacy? That's what sex transmutation is. It's not giving something up. It's trading momentary pleasure for permanent purpose. Hill believed that the ability to transmute this energy separates the ordinary from the great, because most people are controlled by desire. Few people learn to control it, and even fewer know how to redirect it into meaningful action. This is about self-mastery, about raising your emotional and creative vibration, about turning one of life's most powerful instincts into a tool for progress, productivity, and power. When you learn to master your energy, your focus sharpens, your drive becomes clearer, your productivity explodes. You move from distraction to domination, not just of your mind, but of your future. So ask yourself, are you wasting your energy, or are you building something with it? The choice is yours. Now that you've learned to control and direct your internal power, it's time to unlock the most powerful system you carry, your subconscious mind. Let's explore that in Chapter 11. Keep watching. You're closer than ever to your breakthrough. Chapter 11, The Subconscious Mind, Connecting Thoughts with Actions. There's a silent force inside you working every second of every day. It never sleeps. It never argues. It never questions your instructions. It simply accepts what you feed it and turns those thoughts into actions, habits, and reality. This is your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill calls it the connecting link, the bridge between your thoughts and your results. It takes the emotions, beliefs, and mental images you repeat, especially those powered by faith and emotion, and transforms them into real-world outcomes. Not through magic, but through focus, repetition, and influence over your behavior. Think of your subconscious mind like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant, whether they're seeds of confidence or doubt, wealth or fear, purpose or pain, it will grow them. It doesn't care what you plant. It simply brings it to life. That's why guarding your thoughts is everything. The words you say to yourself, the images you visualize, the emotions you feel, these are the instructions you're giving your subconscious mind, and the more emotional energy you attach to a thought, the faster it takes root. If you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," your subconscious accepts that as truth and begins shaping your actions around it. But if you repeat, "I am focused, I am capable, I am achieving greatness," with belief and emotion, your subconscious begins to rewire your habits to match that new truth. This is why autosuggestion, faith, and imagination, everything we've already discussed, are so powerful. They are the tools you use to speak directly to your subconscious. But there's more. Your subconscious is also the gateway to something even deeper: intuition, inspiration, and creativity. When you feed it purpose, passion, and clarity, it starts solving problems for you, even while you sleep. Ideas will appear seemingly out of nowhere. Paths will open, and your instincts will guide you with stunning accuracy. But none of this happens by accident. You must feed it with intention, repetition, emotion, consistency every single day. Speak your goals aloud. Visualize them. Feel them. Fall asleep thinking about them. The more you do, the stronger the signal becomes, and your subconscious will begin to move mountains behind the scenes to make it real. This is not wishful thinking. This is the science of mindset. This is the engine behind every success story you admire. Now that you understand how your subconscious mind works, it's time to power it even more with the ultimate transmitter and receiver of thought, the brain. Let's unlock it together in Chapter 12. Stay with us. Chapter 12. The Brain, a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Your brain is more than just an organ. It's a high-powered broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Napoleon Hill believed that every human brain is both a transmitter and a receiver of vibrations. What does that mean? It means your thoughts are not confined to your mind. They radiate outward, influencing the world around you, and at the same time, they attract matching vibrations back to you. Think of it like this. Every intense emotion you feel, desire, faith, love, fear, adds power to your thoughts. And those energized thoughts are sent out into the universe like a radio signal. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're always broadcasting your mental frequency. But here's the twist. Your brain is also receiving thoughts. When you're highly focused, emotionally engaged, and mentally still, you can tune into powerful ideas, inspiration, and even other people's thoughts. This is the very foundation of creative imagination and intuition. Great inventors, writers, and leaders often describe their genius ideas as coming from nowhere. But Hill would say they were tuned in. Their minds were aligned with the right frequency, open to receiving higher-level thoughts. Now imagine what happens when your desire, your faith, your persistence, and your autosuggestions are all sending out the same message, over and over again. You become a magnet, an antenna for opportunity. You attract the people, the ideas, and the resources you need. But this only works when your mind is emotionally charged and purposefully directed. Weak, half-hearted thoughts? Static. Doubtful thoughts? Blocked signal. Only clear, consistent, and emotionally intense thoughts cut through the noise. That's why it's critical to guard your mental energy. Feed your brain empowering input. Stay focused on your goals. Avoid toxic conversations. Don't waste your mental bandwidth on doubt, fear, or meaningless distractions. Your brain is the most powerful tool on Earth, but it only works if you tune it right. And now that you understand how to broadcast and receive powerful thoughts, It's time to explore the final and most mystical principle of all. Chapter 13, The Sixth Sense, the door to infinite intelligence. This is where everything comes together. Don't blink. Chapter 13, The Sixth Sense, the door to the Temple of Wisdom. There's a moment when all logic goes silent, when your conscious mind steps aside and something deeper takes over. A whisper, a nudge, a sudden knowing. That is the sixth sense. Napoleon Hill called it the door to the Temple of Wisdom. It's not something you control, it's something you earn. After you've mastered desire, faith, imagination, planning, persistence, and all the other principles, this final one arrives like a gift. The sixth sense is your connection to infinite intelligence, a level of wisdom far beyond reasoning. It's where intuition speaks. It's when gut feelings guide you. It's when answers arrive before the questions even finish forming. You felt it before. Maybe you suddenly avoided a bad decision, sensed danger, or felt drawn to an opportunity without knowing why. That was not coincidence. That was your inner genius trying to break through. Hill didn't believe in luck. He believed in tuning your mind so precisely, with faith, clarity, and emotion, that the universe starts responding. And in that space, something miraculous happens. Ideas flow without effort. Warnings appear before the fall. People, places, and plans align. This is the highest level of thought, a spiritual insight, not just mental calculation. And it can only be accessed by those who have disciplined their emotions, sharpened their desires, and burned with purpose. The sixth sense doesn't scream, it whispers, and to hear it, you must quiet the noise of doubt, fear, and negativity. This is where leaders are born, where visionaries stand alone, seeing clearly what others miss entirely, because they listen to something higher. So what's the real secret? Live the previous 12 principles. Absorb them. Let them guide every thought, every action. And when the moment is right, when your heart is ready and your mind is clean, the door opens. No knock, no warning, just wisdom arriving right on time. This is the silent force behind all greatness, the unseen hand guiding destiny. And now you're ready to trust it. Because the sixth sense is not just the end of the journey, it's the beginning of something far more powerful than success. It's the birth of true wisdom. If this inspired you, like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite principle. Let's grow together.